the 40s. That spreads the court and makes North Carolina very dangerous.
Padula oozing inside that defense. Loose, picked up, vacuumed in. Davis, he'll go, shifting gears, set up and pop a three. Nice shot. Wow. Dan, that is not a 31% three-point shooter. That stroke, we're right on the angle here watching it. That stroke can't get any better.
They're going to have to guard him.
Davis, got it. Not once in my career did I have a guy come in who had been a starter for 3 years and say, hey, you know what, I'd like to come off the bench. Not once. Not once.
Cadeau. Well, North Carolina's really in trouble here. They got to get something going and going quickly, or they're going to find themselves way out of the game.
Oh, slithering inside. Cadeau positions and fires. And Padula's got the ball, and he's off to the races. Battling to Tyson, who knocked it away. Powell. Davis, the stutter step, the drive, the bump, the finesse. And the shot clock at 4. Juju Murray with a 3. No! Rebound Washington. They've now missed 10 of their last 11 threes. Oh, got it again!
Almost a must score for North Carolina.
Absolutely.
And then on the defensive end, if they do score, it becomes a must stop.
Cadeau.
This is your guy.
Davis will rock it down the lane. Got it! What a punt!
They got him reset. Coleman Jones out front to Davis. Harry pass, the deflection, and the turnover.
Layup if you hurry.
Ahead of the pack is Davis, lays it in. Good work by Carolina.
Hurry in a second time in a row here.
This is the Goreville tough leaner going. Glass missed it. And a rebound by Jalen Washington.
Both teams are just shutting one another down here early on. The last 2.5 minutes or so.
Well, not the kind of field goal turnover ratio you want, but despite that, the Tar Heels holding a 4-point lead. This is Davis, pulls up, buries it.
Just not fair when you get a 6% from 3. But just this goes to show you how difficult points are to be able to get that from the 3-point shot for a 7-footer.
So inside of a minute left before the intermission, Carolina with possession, playing with supreme confidence. Davis gets the shoulders square. Back on tonight, has to be awfully pleased with what he's seen from his Tar Heels. This has been a thing of beauty against the San Diego State team, who on their best day can play with any team in the country. Elliott could go against Boyd. About a 3-second difference, shot to game clock. Aztecs are out of fouls, 6 to shoot. Cadeau, a masterful handle. Davis, deep shot! This isn't an offense that can ill afford to have their top couple of scorers struggle to this extent. Where they got Lubin right at the rim. Shot clock didn't reset, it's at 6. Davis, little bump, fires over B.J. Davis, and he hits again. In the past.
Yeah, and as we touched on in the first half, 90% of his scoring was lost from last year's team and 90% of the minutes. Beautiful set right there coming off the screen, too.
R.J. Davis, just masterful. There's McGoon-Guath. Look at the big fella move. The spin, just couldn't put it down. His first game in 3 weeks. Davis, transition bucket.
Knipple trying to get involved with the blow by, and it won't roll in. Rebound batted around, and Davis has it. North Carolina seeking their 19th ACC tournament championship. Their first since 2016, trying to get into the championship.
He held the extremity to cheer on his team. They have been on their feet the majority of the time on the bench. And speaking to a couple of their teammates, they talked about how this is indeed a brotherhood. They played like it so far today.
They really have, Angel, and you had so many different players step up. We talked about the freshman from yesterday. Patrick Gumbo was 3 for 3 from the field as we watched R.J. Davis. A 2-on-1, and this is something that you work on at the beginning of practice every day. 3-on-2, 2-on-1. And the Blue Devils are executing to perfection when they get those advantage opportunities on the offensive end. Washington, as you mentioned, back in the game, set the screen. Davis bumps it in for 2. He's cheering for him on the sideline, where Batman and Robin are getting the job done for the Blue Devils.
On the drive, off the window, pre-shot by Ice for a bucket.
And Duke Harris has given them productive minutes all season long off the bench.
North Carolina only 15 points to this juncture of the game. Mainly because this man with the ball has been shut out. No longer draining a long.
Struggled early, but now starting to help his team.
Just 24-24, low-scoring first half. Who does that help?
Well, it helps Wake Forest because this is what they do defensively. They can stifle you.
Way downtown, and RJ connects.
Attack the basket.
RJ Davis, the grad. Over 170 games in North Carolina. Fills up another one from three-point land. And that
with a lot of GM experience when you start thinking about Mitch Kupchak, who was the general manager of the Los Angeles Lakers as well as the Charlotte Hornets. Buzz Peterson also.
Here's Davis. Yeah, another triple. Moments after set.
Out of the game.
Fredrickson in. Lubin with the block. Defending his basket beautifully. North Carolina trying to build on the lead under 3 minutes. Winner moving on to the semifinal. Duke awaiting the winner. Davis catches, fires, hits it! And a giant three.
As a coach, nothing makes you as a runner-up. Now a 7-0 run for the Fighting Irish to try to get back in this one, answered by the first bucket from our illustrious career for R.J. Davis. I mean, you're talking about, he'll go down in history as one of the best to ever do it in ACC history.
No doubt. Carolina's #2 all-time scorer. He is #1 all-time and made three-pointers. Player of the Year. He won the Jerry West Award. He's won a slew of honors.
First-team All-American a season ago. And with that first-team All-American and knocking down another in this game, now 1 for 7. And Michael Shrewsbury has inserted him into the lineup much more so without his son Braden Shrewsbury being available to help them on the offensive end. But it's been a struggle.
Davis, good look for the triple.
Speaking of struggle.
And Malik Brown from Syracuse, who is back after missing the last 4 games with a shoulder injury. Brown is back and on the floor as we speak.
Brown, a defensive savant, has great hands, leads this team in deflections, and that's with missing several games with that shoulder.
He's on Davis, who carries a three.
And North Carolina's only got 2 rebounds in this game.
The nipple no. Tipped into the hands of Davis. The pull-up three goes out there. The nipple, another great look. He finds Gillis, who can't hit it. And it's down to Lubin, and Carolina can get even closer.
After not grabbing any rebounds early, Carolina's now getting on the glass. And now they can put Duke on their heels a little bit defensively.
Jackson back into the game, into the corner to Withers. And a good decision to reset.
Carolina stopped turning the ball over.
Davis, another three for up. Led by 15. It's down to 3. And a steal by Withers. The heels are running again. Davis again. The ball screened by Malowacz to free up Proctor. The long rebound to Trimble.
And that was a wide open shot with Carolina in drop coverage.
And a reset now with Davis. Got Gillis on him. Lots of time on the shot clock. Davis the drive. The pull-up. Hits again.
With a good rear view challenge. But Proctor really kept his eyes on the basket and concentrated through the defense.
Limited minutes in the first half for Elliot Cadeau because of a couple of fouls.
Elliot Cadeau had a couple turnovers early. Carolina only 3 turnovers in the first half, all of them in the first 3 minutes.
Davis. Wow. Again. What a
top blocking with Sion James in the corner, forcing him to the other side.
Tipped away by Cadeau. Davis. Another one. A 2.
Right? Negative is contagious, good is infectious. Drake Powell has an infectious energy on this game.
38% three-point shooter. What could be his only college year. Davis with a pull-up pop, and Carolina.
Good to see the energy from the bench, too. Smiles on the court, smiles on the bench. Everybody's happy for one another. Given how challenging this season is, it's nice to see that positivity.
Lubin rolls it out to Powell. Davis with a switch on the big man Poteet will pass out of it, get it back from Cadeau. RJ with a step back deep one. It's good.
That whole crew, but they lost two.
Here's Poteet, left it short. A team that almost lost to Virginia Tech, I believe, before Michigan State took him down in the Elite Eight. Davis on the drive, his first points.
In body language. Do they care for one another? Like, do they try to seek out opportunities for their teammates? Like, that's what you look for. This is a group that does that.
Good screen by Lubin. He frees Davis, his third.
But Lubin's been really good on the offensive end. It kind of complements the whole threat offensively.
Boy, this lineup is just a death squad right now for Carolina. Davis off the turnover, bangs it home.
Getting 91 points a game during the winning streak. Here's Bethea. Got a good look. He couldn't bury that. Withers with the rebound.
I think if there's anybody that it's important he makes threes, it's Jalen Withers. Because he could be a pick and pop guy at times. He doesn't have to make a high percentage, but he can move the defense, particularly with the smaller lineup that Carolina's going to play with.
That's exactly right. And he does shoot at a high percentage, 46%. Davis got it.
I made 13 passes in there.
Bethea way downtown. Got an excellent look. Rebound comes to Trimble. Davis, a three-pointer coming. Got it. Bethea, McDonald's All-American, around and out. Very talented kid. Pennsylvania Gatorade Player of the Year, Miami's highest-rated recruit ever, and shredding it. Want to do. I'll be right next to you, John Crispin. Just got to convince them. I think they have other things to do, but
I'm a good salesman.
Job one today for North Carolina was to take care of business, and they did that against Miami. Davis will launch one and swish in a triple.
Yes, he does, and he knew that was going to be the case coming in here. And we've got a late arriving crowd, but they're starting to fill in as the fans here of Florida State basketball start to celebrate each and every time they're going to see Jalen Hamilton on this court.
Davis with a long one and a three-pointer for a great NCAA tournament. There are a lot of schools that could win it. The flip over the top, that won't drop. People tend to forget about UCLA. I'm not exactly sure why, but they continue to pick up great wins. That one knocked down by and tipped up and in. Need two right there. So he recovered from that head injury. And he gets a basket.
And right now, Florida State looking around is looking at guys like, why are we not up pressuring? But Thomas taking on the challenge of guarding R.J. Davis. He'll get the switch. Nitu clapping his hands, looking forward to the matchup against the reigning ACC Player of the Year.
Davis lifts.
And the ACC Player of the Year wins. And North Carolina back in the zone defensively. This time, the Seminoles well prepared for it in the second half. Get it inside the Watkins, who's unable to get it to go in the mid-range.
That pop in and out, 77-69, and a quick strike. It's Davis, the other. Dubin, coach, thank you very much. 79-71, North Carolina and the ball. Inbounded for Washington. FSU had cut the lead to 6, but now Cadeau with it. Looking for help off the Trimble. Shot clock to 7. Trimble to drive again. Shot clock to 4. Davis swooping in and banks it in.
You know, we're going to have that on the last offensive possession.
It's the crowd on their feet. Murray with the drive, and they stop him again. It kicks out for Davis. And RJ waits for some help. North Carolina on top, 13-2.
RJ had a mismatch. He had Saunders guarding him. Surprised he didn't take him to the rack or create something for one of his teammates.
Last year's ACC Player of the Year directing some traffic. Shot clock to 7. He'll cross over and drive. Quick stop and sticks it.
And again, it's something the Tar Heels to get Withers and Ben now Lubin back on the front court.
So Davis to bring it across for North Carolina. Trying to pick up their 11th win of the season at home. They're 10-2 on this court. The blow by, and Davis will roll it in.
Dangerous. Virginia can actually be on the perimeter when you've got Brody McNeely as well as Day-Day Ames going offensively. They can be a problem to handle.
Powell swinging. Davis thought about a triple. He'll drive it instead and made it. And he's off.
They've been close in a lot of games, and Kevin telling us today that they've maintained good attitude and continue to fight. Davis again with the clock.
Win that Carolina had. Without Jalen Washington playing that way, they don't win that game.
Brandon Huntley Hatfield into the game, and he misses. And Washington, that third block, Jay, was on a potential game-tying shot from Jaden Taylor. Game that Heels won by a deuce. 14-6, 8-0 run. Jackson, a little bit of a lazy pass. R.J. Davis saved him. R.J. Pressure. All right, you're in Kevin Keatts' situation here, Jay. Down 22, not much has gone right. You've got a little over 6 minutes here. What margin would you like to get it to by the time you go to the locker room in terms of building a little confidence and momentum?
Well, you'd like to get it around the 10 mark, but really what you want to just do is establish some sort of offensive rhythm.
Not much of that. I'll tell you who does have some. Everybody.
And a little bit more responsibility on the shoulders of R.J. Davis, having to play point guard and also look to score with Elliot Cadeau on the bench.
Davis drives, looking to score, and does.
It's like Cooper Flagg doing it, Liam McNeely from UConn. It is not easy.
One thing he does seem to have mastered, though, is because of the appeal of watching him play combined on Instagram and TikTok. Over 1 million followers. Bodes well in this NIL world, evaluation and the like. Washington rolling off the screen and creates a little more space for R.J. Davis. McNeil drains at 3. And a couple of quick buckets here. He has 8 on the night.
McNeil had 12 against Louisville, and coming into this game, he hit 6 of his last 7 field goals in the last 2 games.
We're working him in the rotation in practice this morning a little bit more as you see him adjusting, maybe down the stretch even more run. One of the guys that they'll be counting on in the future. R.J. Davis.
On the Withers again. Out for Davis, yet to score. Chases down his own miss. Oh, there were a lot of hands. He gets his first points of the game.
There's something to it as well, because you're also hard to scout. If you've kind of been boo-boo biscuits for most of the year, then all of a sudden you're really good. What team are you scouting?
Boo-boo biscuits.
Yeah, I was trying to think
sounds
of the word.
delicious. Davis step back 3. And finally RJ the deep 3 tries to create space. Jackson. Washington pushes it up to Davis, and that's the second time.
Take a guy out. We want to clean that up. But you should be able to make a little contact on a handoff. Otherwise, as a defender, you know what I do? I run into guys and get the call.
Ends up as the 6th team foul, so Carolina's in the bonus. Jackson trying to penetrate the zone again.
I like where they're putting Cadeau, though. Playmaking position in the middle of the zone.
He bounces to Davis. Drives and fires third.
Playing in this building against the Tigers has spent all 5 years in the ACC.
Lockett trying to follow his own miss, couldn't get to it. Cadeau picks it off. With Carolina coming out Saturday's 1-point win over Pitt, 67-66. That's all they play, it seems, is one-possession games.
And they're used to being in close games. Hubert Davis told us earlier today he's just used to it now. But again, the Memphis game and in the Georgia Tech game, he settled for 3s in overtime, late games, and it didn't work out. But once he puts his head down going to the rim, it is hard to stop him from getting the shot he wants.
Back out for Davis. Shot clock to 8 as he flips it up there and hits the triple.
So a 48 hours. The first half tonight, what he did against the Blue Devils on Saturday, Victor Lockton is absolutely locked in.
Underneath the quick. They did such a great job for Dickey the other day, welcoming him back. Davis with a fall away, knocks it down.
In the NBA game and the college game, any upward motion, even when you don't let the basketball go, it's still going to be 2 free throws. So once again, I was wrong, but that's okay.
Doesn't happen very often. You tend to work a lot in the NBA as well. That is out for Cadeau. Here comes Davis on the penetration. He'll scoop it in.
R.J. Davis, he comes up with another chase down block.
Hunter just threw that one away. Right to Davis. He'll lead the break. Difficult angle, lays it in.
And this crowd is nowhere near as loud, but you can only imagine how they partied on Saturday night.
Carolina forcing the turnover on the run out. Here's R.J. Davis to lay it in. Zachary averages 11. The turn and fire, and that'll rattle home for Davis.
Switch on to our bigs. We're going to punch that thing inside.
Hubert Davis going to his bench, bringing in 3 fresh players. Drake Powell, the freshman from nearby Pittsboro, North Carolina, along with a 6th-year Jalen Withers. And Jalen Washington playing the 5. Guillermo Diaz-Graham out there for Pittsburgh.
It starts with that guy. It starts with him being that All-American he was expected to be coming in.
Davis takes the ball and the screen from Washington. Now resets with 12 on the timer. A step back over Graham Diaz.
Play. Both these teams have talent, and you still have that ACC tournament out there, which will have a major impact, I think, on selection.
Well, this is a quad 1 opportunity for Pittsburgh, a quad 2 game for North Carolina. Pitt's net coming into the day is 47, while Carolina is, and put the Panthers back in front.
I don't think you can come that far off. To me, that's over-helping, especially with the shooter Zach Austin is.
He's 39% on the year coming in. He picked up his 2nd foul. Now 4 minutes gone here in the second half. 6'1" sophomore from West Orange, New Jersey. Off the fade screen, finds Davis, who buries the 3.
Get him curling into the lane, and then if it breaks down, Elliot Cadeau's penetration has been a killer. You're in the bonus.
One minute left in the second half. Under 10 on the timer. Davis crosses over low. Step back long 2. Got it.
And boy, did Armando Bacot, I mean, how great was he for 5 years, and how much easier did he make everything just with his presence at both ends of the court.
We had Armando Bacot last year, Harrison Ingram, you had Cormac Ryan out on the perimeter, you had some threats. But right now, it's so difficult for North Carolina. They're not generating any offense off the offensive glass.
Davis high off the glass. Then the Heels have lost 3 of their last 4. Lost at Pitt, lost at Wake, lost at home to Stanford. The only win in that stretch overtime at home against BC. Davis hits the 3.
Have a free throw advantage. That has not been the case in this game and not really been the case this year.
Cadeau guarded by Flag. Now a reset to Davis.
Jalen Washington tried to post up. Malowacz just pushed him right off his spot, just more physical.
R.J. Davis over Malowacz, buries a 3rd to that moment. Knipple now with 20.
He has had a spectacular game. When he gets hot, and he can get hot in a hurry, he's got a lot of game. He's not just a shooter, he's much more than that.
R.J. Davis will step in and knock down the baseline.
Davis started by Leggett. Cadeau will take his 3rd 3. And Powell tips it out for Davis. R.J. Cadeau, you're going to give him all the space in the world. Davis will drain one and finally movement here. Lowe will step back over. Win it out. Seven minutes to play in what has been an entertaining first half, about as entertaining as we expected. 2 teams desperate for a resume-boosting win. Davis in a switch with Diaz-Graham. Crossover dribble. It's pure. Davis. Corner three done. Carolina's so quick to get the ball down the floor. Jackson from Cadeau. Pitts settles in. They'll let Cadeau run the show again. Now with Davis, Lubin, screen and roll.
Can't go on with
Not
that.
against that guy. An 8-0 run, all the points scored by this man, Jalen Lowe, who is stripped on the first possession. Cadeau, Davis, good control at the rim. Austin, done. UNC has not hit a three-pointer this half.
He has him sealed up. Lubin has a smaller player on him and legging him the block. He should demand the ball.
Davis instead will charge into Lubin. Lowe drives the other way. Over Lubin. Knocks the rebound at Trimble. Here come the heels. Davis for three. It's good. First three of the half.
7 rebounds, shooting about 63% from the field. That's him. And cannot get the roll. Carolina coming the other way. Trimble going to pull it out. Carolina with one quad one win this season. That came against UCLA, and that's a good start for RJ.
Coach Smith wasn't a bad, that's not a bad learning, bad incubator to be in. But, you know, those Kansas and North Carolina, those two programs, it's so intertwined.
Powell will check back in. Davis all the way lays it in. Nicely done.
The crowd is a little uneasy at this point, to say the least.
Davis passed up the three, and he'll go to the basket and lay it in. Ran into his teammate. 17 in the game for Hand, much to the delight of his father.
And he just stepped in rhythm right into that three.
And all of a sudden, a three-point Carolina leads become a three-point Boston College lead on the back-to-back threes by Hand. And now Davis, his first bucket in the second half. And we're tied at 91, 3:20 to go in overtime. Davis for three. Yes, sir.
Last year, first team All-ACC.
And with Johnson getting that second foul, now Hunter Salas has to go back to the point guard position where he started the majority of the beginning of this season and struggled offensively until they kind of got him off the ball.
To go on the drive and kick. They'll swing it for Davis, wide open. Got it. Trailing most of this half. Hildreth will lift, and he can't hit the triple. On the run, Davis. Knock it away. Left-handed. Yes, he'll lay it in.
Going up against a much smaller guard, but using the physicality to be able to give an advantage at the rim.
Been a long time since Wake had the lead. Salas with 8. Pull up by Davis. Swishes that one in.
A season to go.
Johnson over the shoulder. Reed with a long one. Too strong. Cadeau fought with the bigs. Here's the pass and laid up and in on a sweet run.
Dropping it off. Allowing Efton Reed to get the easy one.
You know, Wake without an assist in the first half. That's pretty amazing. But 5 in the second half. Davis gets a good clean look and a 3. And pass just got to Reed. They break it. Johnson over the top.
That's not the play.
Get it.
You don't need it right there. Steve Forbes just got his hands on his head.
Davis off the window for 2.
Only 1.4 remaining, and right now it's just stay away.
Davis turns, fires, swishes that one in. Had 3 steals in just 25 minutes against Cal. That's excellent defense by Trimble, and here comes Davis the other way. Pulls up from 3.
Their minutes from the bench, which is almost last in Division I. I mean, they really play a short bench. And you look at where the timeouts are, and that's where they try to substitute. Great finish.
Game for R.J. Davis. Rebound comes off to Carolina. Davis pushing it the other way. You know, Davis's numbers are down this year, and some people are making a big deal out of it, but you see 5 assists so far in the game today. Will fade away jumper, and he'll get the general roll.
Let's see if he starts to try to force the issue, Tom. You know, you get used to scoring that much. You may try to start looking for your own offense.
R.J. Davis rings it in.
Play on the underneath out of bounds, and you get, if that pass doesn't connect, it's the first pass to a fast break.
Davis. Boy, he has answered the bell to 10. Tar Heels are 15 out of 18. Blakes has 14 in the game and a lead down to 1 with 5:27 to go. R.J. Davis so patient. That
Joseph knocks it down. He's got 8 now in this first half. You see the Bears extending their pressure. The last time they did this, they dropped back and went man-to-man. Now it looks like they're going to stay in the zone defensively. So Mark Madsen trying to switch it up. 3-ball. That's the control right there, and you leave with Stojakovic being able to see over Trimble where he doesn't have that size advantage over Drake Powell. And by the way, there we go.
Golden Bears long 3, front rim miss. Cleans it up at distance, then deflected, and here's Cadeau with the steal. He's got R.J. Davis the layup good. The dribble. Inbounds pass, Parker couldn't handle it. Here's Powell the other way. Bounce pass, Davis goes up and under around Middlebrooks for the bucket. Right back inside, can't finish it, and out of there comes Lubin.
Hill looks like he's about to collapse.
He's taking a ton of shots. Cadeau, here's R.J. Davis, pull up at the foul line. Good. 6.
Washington hadn't made a 3 all year. I think NC State's fine with him shooting it out there.
Yep, now 0 for 8 after the miss a moment ago. Here's Davis. Trimble, 15 to shoot. Baseline on O'Connell. Here's Jackson. R.J. Davis, a 3-over pass is good.
That is
sitting on at Lenovo Center as Taylor hits them both. Now backcourt pressure applied by the Wolfpack, at least momentarily on the inbound.
Now, we've already had more points scored in this half than the first half.
Yep. Davis, Middlebrooks trying to help off the switch. R.J. for Powell. And lost it on the dribble. Washington cleans it up with 9 to shoot. Back to R.J. Davis. All the way through, scoop and score.
11-3 and 2-1 on the season. There's Cross and Jackson another rebound.
Well, when you're a little bit smaller, some of your small guys have to really do the rebounding job, and you need your best player. Only shoots 31% on the year from 3. They shoot 57% from 2. Now man-to-man.
Washington clutched on 3 momentarily. Here is Davis. High-arcing, running one-hander by R.J. Davis. He's Trimble. Euro in traffic. They try for the rebound. Knocked out. Jackson a fresh 20. Davis standing 3. 10 and 7 now. Quick look. Miller had it blocked. Edwards. Now Davis on the run. Through traffic, and Miller called for the block, score the basket. And 7 for Ben Allen Lubin.
And the back to the basket power move isn't something you normally see.
And he forced the turnover there. Nice pass, Trimble for Davis.
The pass was a little bit behind him. That's a heck of a catch.
For Carolina. Just beyond 6 and change gone here in the second half. Davis' spot up 2 is good. 4-point trip for Carolina. Battle in. Chuck Harris with 15 in the game. Ian Edwards now starting to heat up here a little bit for SMU with 3 and change to go.
Trimble for Davis. RJ, floater with a right hand.
The clock as possible.
Washington for Davis. 1 on the clock over Yigatola. And it goes! Oh!
Ready to explode when he does so. Awako on high. Rattles away and ripped down clean by Ben Allen Lubin.
Yeah, he played his freshman year here at Notre Dame, did Allen Lubin. And there's R.J. Davis. Talked about how stifling that defense was, and I thought the same thing. I mean, they were tied together, guys in their gaps, eyes on the ball, physical.
Is this a different defense to begin the second?
Yeah, it looks like a zone being displayed by Notre Dame, again, in an effort to try to keep that ball out of the paint and offer a little confusion to the Tar Heels, as they were clearly expecting man and now have to reset and recalibrate.
Powell, Davis, Cadeau shaped it up. Davis on the drive, rattles in, and he passes Armando.
They've got decent shots, though.
Burton. R.J. Davis, oh, what a seal! Paved the path!
Scott, a North Carolina native, another one that followed Pat Kelsey from the College of Charleston. Back doors open. Davis gets his first basket of Kelsey in year number 1. He's brought the feel-good factor back to this program.
Well, this has always been a knowledgeable fan base. Are you kidding me? The state of Kentucky, I mean, they're all over it, right? And one of the timeouts, Mikel Brown Jr. committed to the Louisville Cardinals today. He's here. He's on the Jumbotron. He's at midcourt. You remember when you used to not be able to do any of that stuff?
R.J. Davis, exact 3. Brooks has to heave it, and he does. Off the mark. Well, Carolina comes out of the timeout, and R.J. Davis 3. Now a scoop to the hoop. Traore misses the layup. Nothing will fall for the Cardinals right now. They've missed 5 in a row. R.J. Davis, contact, count it, plus the foul.
It's UCLA. Jen, thank you. Welcome to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We are just underway between Campbell and UNC. Kevin Brown, Dan Bonner, our ACC Network crew. It's the final game for the Tar Heels before the meat of conference play, and the buckets have come from Jalen. Deep 3 is good. This is a Campbell team that shoots a lot from 3 without a hugely effective percentage, but Colby Dugan, who shot it well of late, gives the Fighting Camels an early lead.
55% of Dugan's field goal attempts are from beyond the arc, so you've got to pay attention to him.
Here's R.J. Davis, who is 2 3-pointers away from the school record. Marcus Page on the bench has it, and Davis has just tied him. Will replace Zerlini for Campbell, and Vin Allen Lubin, who started the last 4, comes off the bench early to replace Washington. 6'8" junior from Vanderbilt. UNC team that has struggled to get production from its bigs this year. Awfully guard-dominated team. Jackson slashing, lost it. Recollects, finds Davis. And there's the record. Standing ovation during a free throw, yeah. And he drilled it, so maybe he'll ask for history to be set during every free throw. Completed the 3-point play. It's a good offensive start. Campbell's 5 for 10, and Carolina is 6 for 9. Kate Tyson's on the floor for UNC. A 3-point shooter they really need to get going. Davis has started perfect. 3 for 3 from the field. Powell didn't see Lubin inside. Deep shot clock. Davis fouled, and he hits another.
Sure on himself. A lot of accolades at the end of the season last year. A lot of preseason accolades this year. And again, he doesn't have an inside post presence like Armando Bacot to help him out. I mean, they're right on him, and they're defending him all the time with their best player. The opponents are, that is.
Davis with 13 tonight.
But it's not like he's having a bad year. He just hasn't shot the ball particularly well. That worked.
10, and he's got 14. He and Dugan have been pretty much the whole Campbell offense for chunks of this game.
I think North Carolina's been pretty good defensively. You know, they have not really allowed Campbell to sort of run that open court kind of offense. They've not allowed the ball to go from side to side. They've done a nice job.
Davis crosses over and drains his.
It's the case in this day and age.
This is not for Hubert Davis a very vocal team right now. He said, I've had to bring more energy than I've ever had to bring, but it's a great group of kids. He loves the people on the team, just hoping to get a little bit more of their personality out, a little bit more communication on the floor, but it's a group he really adores, including the freshman Jackson Powell. And then there's RJ.
Action. They come with a double first time.
Cross-court pass opens a 3-up for Edwards. Nice rebound by Powell on the backside for Carolina. They look to move it.
Where they put pressure on you with the bounce.
R.J. Davis, 3. Got that.
Late closeout.
Turnovers a game. You're going to win a lot of games doing that if you don't turn it over yourself.
Correct. Which they've stopped doing. They're down to averaging 11 a game. Tyson on the floor. Thought he played well the last game, too. Maybe finding himself after transferring from Belmont.
Davis working against Belladone. Got the shot and got it.
He can.
Clark pull up. 3. No good. Off the backside. Rebound on Jay Davis.
And that wasn't the play. He was to dump it in. Belladone had his guy on his back.
Davis knocks down a 3. Mates are going.
They can't
This is lights out.
Well, there are portal transfers and there are portal transfers. Good drive. Taking it on his own shoulder.
Little shake to the baseline. Rebound, North Carolina, R.J. Davis.
I like the frenzy right now for Carolina.
Davis on the drive. The shot's in.
On R.J. Davis, make him give it up and force someone else to score.
Down the lane, a little bit of a wild shot, out of control. Where this crowd that wants to roar for North Carolina has to sit on their hands, but a nice move by Davis. Lauren on the high post, Condon. Clayton Jr.
And a really nice flare screen.
Davis going up against the Gators all by himself to bank it in.
Here comes RJ.
There's to lay it in. Beautifully run play.
If you don't jump to the ball, you get beat backdoor. That's what happened to Cadeau.
Trimble airborne. They'll swing it. Davis is open from three-point land. Got it. And
First half is the reason they went into halftime with a double-digit deficit. He said that has to change in the second half.
Well, this is a nice start to the second half. Out of the corner, the jump shot. That won't drop. Martin can't connect. He was a big factor in their first half lead. Cadeau up top. Powell will swing it.
North Carolina's advantage every night is their speed and quickness, their athleticism in the backcourt. They have to be able to make that a factor. And they've done that here to start the second half.
Davis stops quickly, drills the jumper.
And Florida able to build this lead here without Walter Clayton Jr.
Davis, it comes right to him. No trip on the play, no foul, and he's laid in. A lot of iron, but it drops. So back to a three-point game as we approach the 8-minute mark in Charlotte.
Walter Clayton Jr. is on the Jackson matchup, and he's not going to want to switch this.
Davis has been cooking. His jumper, got it! And Hubert Davis preaching toughness, questioning his team at the break. And they've been tough as nails since halftime. Davis nearly lost it, got it back it in. So it's all working in North Carolina.
First class event in Charlotte by the Charlotte Sports Commission. To have these 4 great basketball programs here representing the Jumpman brand. Outstanding.
Yeah, of the teams here, only one is unranked. Florida, the highest ranked, number 7. Davis bumping back and knocks in a triple. A completely different game here in the second half of the first half.
A completely different North Carolina team in the second half.
The baseline, quick strike, and guess who Davis again?
Catch underneath. Looked like White got away with an elbow, and there's a takeaway. Davis to the rack, and 1.
nicely done.
You know, it's one thing to practice. It's another thing to get out here on the court and find your way with your teammates in live action.
R.J. Davis left alone in the corner and rattles it in. Great pass, penetration by Cadeau. It's a different crowd here today with the students gone. They finished up exams a couple of days ago. So while sold out, not completely filled at the Dean Dome today, there's Davis way downtown and nothing but net.
Carry call. Yeah, well, that's because you were drilling it. That's why.
Yeah, it's really good to be back with Randolph Childress. I missed that.
Got to keep you honest, my friend.
Inside of 7 to go in the first half. R.J. Davis off the screen.
Baseline feed. That's why you want to get by Dongo the ball in the middle of the floor. He's such a really good passer. So if you rotate over, he's looking to throw it to the weak side corner. That time, Mustaf cut to the basket and was able to finish.
R.J. Davis. Deep three. Lays it in from Terry. It's on the no flash for North Carolina. They've got 29 points. You mentioned this to me during the break. Every single one is from 4 guards for the Heels.
Yes. No one on the front line has scored yet. And that's been a problem. And it forces you as a guard to feel like moves like this. You got to create and take tough shots. Yes. Right now with the Yellow Jackets with P.O. and Badongo on the front line.
So now it's Lubin and Withers in the front court for UNC. Handoff Davis. Got on Muchekwa in the air and the floater goes. There and they do. Back out of a double. Powell can't hit for 3. Tech's gone 5 minutes without a made bucket. Davis lays it in. Impeded right to the rim.
What a change of speed by Mark Sears. This miscommunication by North Carolina. Somebody has to take the ball.
Holloway. And that 3 wouldn't go. And Lubin pulls it down. Davis into the paint. Scoops it home with the left hand.
Playing 5 out. It doesn't leave anybody underneath the basket to be a rim protector, and that's what Nate Oates, that's what they do.
Davis cuts to the basket. To the corner, and Holloway, that wouldn't fall. Loose ball, and an offensive rebound from Diabate. And eventually Carolina comes away with it. Davis, right at Sears.
Just 16 points, like you said before, but I think he needs to get a lot more things in transition, attacking, and finding a way to get to the free throw line. He was 2 of 2 in the first half, but he's a guy with his upper body frame. He used to be averaging 8 to 9 free throw attempts per game.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that was a great investment personally.
Still to this day. 17-point advantage, biggest of the game for Alabama as we close in on 11 to go here in the second half. Duke and Auburn coming up at the conclusion of our game as Davis knocking. Powell will try. Can't hit. Davis ball fake, gets inside off the glass.
Standing on 2 feet, and of course the low man wins.
Tang rattles one. And that is a nice mid-range. The slight hesitation to ward off the D, and he finishes.
And smart play by Cooper as Washington has already jumped, gathers himself, allows the defender to be on his way down before he starts his shot.
R.J. Davis gets one to go, and Fears back into the game.
Blake Powell out there now for the Tar Heels. Davis steps back behind the line and knocks down the three. They're going to dribble. That was nice by Akins.
Great play by Akins and is recognizing exactly what his team needed at the time, just like R.J. Davis.
Second one is good.
Just a good foul.
Michigan State showing some composure here.
That should be a
North Carolina trying to
deficit in the first half has proven to be detrimental for the Tar Heels, who will leave the Islands at 1-2.
We'll hold the phone. You have to save it, but Broom able to control it and lay it in.
Cardinal rule, do not save the basketball under the other team's basket. You hear it in elementary school, and it turns out to be 2 more points for Broom off of the error by Jalen Withers.
There's R.J. Davis, the drive, off glass, and
not indecisive at all. Knocks down the first one and tells all his friends and family to holler at him.
Auburn, which has a very efficient offense, but certainly its calling card is its defense. All kinds of space, and he splashes down.
5-point swing. You miss a layup, and on the other end, they hit a 3. So the difference in the game being an 18-point lead in comparison to 13.
Good cut there by Davis, and a good find by Davis trying to respond, got it to go. Wow, Pettiford drills one.
What did we say about the freshman? The lone young guy for this Auburn team.
Davis, the teardrop. Oh, and he hit the court hard. Now in its 41st year, the tip is in the air, and it is North Carolina controlling.
And it's interesting to see Jalen Withers basically stole that tip. That should have been in the hands of Dayton Flyers, but Withers making big effort to start the game off. We'll see if that continues for the Tar Heels.
Here is Elliot Cadeau getting it to the All-American R.J. Davis, and he hits his first 3. Just
play right there to steal the basketball from Trimble, which ends up being the dunk for Zed Key. And one thing's for certain, the Flyers will not back down from the Tar Heels one bit here throughout this game.
Here is Trimble. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Davis on the drive, able to create space and then gets the friendly roll.
Great job. Come out again and give them a spell on defensive possessions as much as you can, but play a little offense, defense with RJ for the remaining 4+ minutes.
How about what the freshman Amel Laytons has given Anthony Grant? 8 points, a couple of boards in just over 5 minutes. Davis challenges him though and wins. R.J. Davis, the quick release.
And North Carolina.
Key left it short. Alexander the board. Follow no. Tipped around. And Ian Jackson wins the race to the loose basketball. North Carolina can cut it to single digits. Davis for 3. Yes!
R.J. Davis with a lot of movement. See if you can get him a 3. And if he's unable to get the 3, he'll open someone else up.
Oh, he gets open. What a pass that was. Cadeau finding his to within 5. Here is Smith trying to go glass. Good box out there by Washington on Key. Davis the other way. What a finish.
The dead ball allowing Dayton to set up their full court pressure.
Another opportunity for the Tar Heels to either tie or take the lead. Elliot Cadeau playing with his 4 fouls. They get it to Davis. Step back behind the 3. And the Second leading scorer gets it up to Christensen. Little show and go. Went for the jam, but he got blocked by Trimble.
Well, one of the things you're going to see, Seth Trimble, if you haven't watched him, one of the best athletes in the country. He's showing that with his shot blocking ability as well.
Here's R.J. Davis, and that's a good sign. Who hails from Yokohama, Japan, played for Team Japan in the Paris Olympics this past summer. And another turnover here, snatched away by Ian Jackson. Ahead, and Davis with the reverse. Wow. At the offensive end.
Well, Christensen's been a force in the middle, and that's the one area where you can attack North Carolina this year where you haven't been able to do in years past. Of course, Armando Bacot for 5 years was the man in the middle for the Tar Heels.
R.J. Davis, the teardrop. And that's good.
Points in the paint has belonged to the Rainbow Warriors. Now up to 16 points in the paint.
A 6-0 Hawaii run. 1 minute to play here in the first frame. Davis the step back. Now under 10. And Christensen lost the handle. Numbers for the Tar Heels. Bounce pass R.J. Davis. The layup is good.
Now that's what...
He's got the hot hand.
Nemo is warming up. Shall I say, the goal right now for the Rainbow Warriors is finding Nemo. You got to make it happen. You knew it was coming.
Meanwhile, Trimble finds
the post. Tough matchup.
Throws it out for Smalls at three-pointer. Around it out for Colin Smalls for an American team that wants to shoot around 33s. They shot 18 last game, hit 9, but the volume was too low for Dwayne Simpkins, the head coach of the second year. Here's R.J. Davis. I haven't said his name much, sure. That's going to change.
It's not in balance in any way.
Jones tripped up by Withers, deflects it to Cadeau again. Here's Davis.
And Carolina in terms of how you need to get R.J. Davis more involved and active early in this one.
That's one way to do it. R.J. just dashed down the field. A couple of the year after that, really struggled from three. That Carolina team, preseason #1, and not making the tournament. Hoping Tyson could be that guy. Cormac Ryan was that guy for much of last year as Davis gets.
And I've been a part of that. It's a tough one.
What's in the Raptors at Penn State?
We went to the Sweet 16. The sad thing is we got to hang it.
Davis.
Jay Adams. When Kansas moves the ball from one side of the floor to the other, they become that much more difficult to guard. 5 players moving and the ball moving.
Cadeau, Davis, Trimble, Withers, and Washington. All 5 starters are returnees.
Kansas big guys do not just stand around and wait for the ball to get to them. They will move into an open area, and they work so well together.
Withers and Washington both back in to start the second half after missing a lot of the first half with a little bit of an extra wrap on that left ankle. Good rebound in traffic by Withers.
Well, K.J. Adams so good out of that short roll as a playmaker.
Cadeau, and what a cut by Davis.
On the drive. Lob inside, Washington to catch. Cadeau thought about it. R.J. Davis will. And hit.
What they had, three-point shooting. Dorn knocking down his second.
3 ball for Nick Dorn. Elon by a point. There's Davis with a drive. And he'll collect with 3. He'll pull up from Eastern North Carolina. And missed. Withers the rebound. Here's
going up again.
R.J. will take it himself. Smart play by R.J. And now it's a 2-point Phoenix lead. And back to the zone goes Billy Taylor's team.
Yeah, and again, it's been successful. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Here's R.J. Davis, a floater. Tied it up again.
Under 7 minutes.
How about Simpkins had it blocked?
And numbers for Carolina.
Yep. Here's Davis into traffic for Withers. R.J. Davis got it.
Continues a strong second half performance in his debut.
18 now. It's big time basketball, nothing but a thing for Tawan. Career high.
Trumbull. Cade Tyson will tend to shoot. Back to Davis. 7-point game. Tyson. Now to Davis with 3. Shot clock winding down, and he gets the rattler on the runner. Remember Van Komen off the floor. And did they lose possession? They did. Cadeau with the turnover. Under 2 to play. Bounce pass for Davis. And he'll wheel back out and gun for 3.